Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Helzie here from SlimmandStylish.stampingup.net. Today I'm going to be introducing you to the butterflies and flowers layering decorative masks that are available from my store. These are from the new mini catalogue and I had totally missed them, so I added them to my basket and they arrived this week. So this is my first time of opening them, but I'm going to show you a variety of cards made with all of the different types of stencils that are in here. The first three, which I'm showing you now, are more block images that you can build up to create really effective individual pieces. The bottom three are all background pieces, which you can do full sponging on or you can do partial sponging to create effects. I'll be teaming all my cards up with the Slim Sayings Cling Stamp set from the mini catalogue. It's got some really great sentiments on here and they're quite bold, so we'll make a real statement. First up, I'm going to really quickly show you how to create the butterfly. You're going to need the butterfly decorative layer and two different colours that complement each other, along with one of your blending brushes and either post-it notes or masking tape or washi tape, whichever you work with. I'm sticking the stencil over the top of my basic white and I'm using my post-it notes to just cover up the additional stencils and also to stick both the paper and the mask to the table so that it doesn't move. Using my blending brush, I'm applying the lighter of the two colours to the background piece of this butterfly. I'm using Pale Papaya here and later I'll be using Mango Melody. I'm just getting a basic layer over the top. You can go as dark as you like or not, but I've just put a little bit of ink to paper just to create this real subtle butterfly. Moving the layer up, I'm putting the decorative piece over the top of my background piece. That's really easy to do because these stencils are actually transparent, so you can see through where you're going. I'm then going to apply the darker colour over the top. You can do this in two different ways. You can apply the colour all the way over, or you can start off in the middle and work it outwards so it's darker in the middle, whichever way you want to. But either way, you're going to end up with a really cool effect butterfly like this. For the projects I'm using today, I'm going to be fussy cutting this butterfly out, but you can simply just put it onto the background of the card without fussy cutting. It's really up to you, but it's a simple shape if you need to cut it. The first card I'm going to create is this really simple card. I've done the same process and I've made myself 3 butterflies for the next 3 cards I'm going to make. So for this one, you want your backing sheet of Whisper White or Basic White. This for me is 10.5 centimetres by 14.8 centimetres. I've bent the butterfly to give it some dimension and I've applied some Tombow to the centrepiece and some dimensionals to the outer piece so that when I stick it down in the middle and then stick it down on the out bit, it comes out 3D from the card and it looks like it's flying. I've then just added a sentiment on the bottom, which is this beautiful sentiment from the Slim Sayings set, and then I'm just going to add some glittered enamel dots to the bottom just to create that additional effect. And this is very simply the basis for the first card. Next card up, I've added just a bit of detail in the background using another one of the decorative layer masks. So I've got my butterfly all ready and I'm going to pick up one of the decorative layers. I've picked up this one, which is actually my favourite, and you can see I'm reusing the post-it notes. Don't worry when you stick this down about going over your base cardstock because I'm not going to be putting the stencil all over the card. I'm just going to do it in certain places. I've picked up my ink. This is the Mango Melody, the darker one, and I'm just selectively picking where I want to sponge it. You can see I haven't been too detailed, but it's just created this awesome effect on the back of my card. I've worked out where I want to put the butterfly so I can put my sentiment down the bottom in the centre, and then I can attach the butterfly to the card. For this one, I'm putting it all out 3D and I'm not going to stick the middle piece down, just so it looks like it's well and truly away from the background. Next card up, I have really stepped this up by using a load of coordinating bits and pieces from the Pale Papaya range. I've used the DSP, which I've cut at 9 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres, and I'm going to stick this onto my basic white cardstock, which is 10 centimetres by 14.3 centimetres. So it just sits in the middle quite nicely there. This is the Pale Papaya in colour 6x6 DSP that you can find from the annual catalogue. I've also got the Pale Papaya Shimmer Vellum here. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to rip a piece off the edge that will sit over the top of the cardstock. Because it's vellum, it's quite hard to work out where you're going to put the adhesive. So I'm just working out that the adhesive will go underneath the butterfly. I'm going to pop my stamp onto a separate piece of basic white cardstock and I'm going to punch it out using the tailored tag punch. I'm working out where I'm going to put everything before I stick the vellum down, and then I'm just going to pop a little dot of snail just there so that it holds the vellum in place, but it's not stuck fully to the card, so it adds some extra dimension. I'm then going to pop up the butterfly, but before I do that, I'm going to add some Pale Papaya ribbon behind it just to add an extra effect. It's so great when all your colours go together greatly and coordinate, and that's what's so lovely about Stampin' Up. It's the reason why I joined. Anyhow, layer the ribbon out into a Z shape like this, cut it off and then position the butterfly and the sentiment over the top to create a stepped up version of this card. To finish off, I added some embellishments so that it just gave it a real sparkle, and that was the end of my butterfly series. You'll have to let me know which one of the three you prefer. So next up, I'm playing with the flower stencil. And truthfully, this layering mask is my favourite. Once again, I've got two inks that complement each other, a lighter and a darker, so Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape in this instance. And I'm going to pop my layering mask over my base cardstock, but I'm actually going to keep this as a one layer card, so I'm not going to cut this out. I am just going to stencil onto the bottom part of the card, so I'm being quite careful with where I've positioned this. I'm going over with a light colour first, and then I'm going to move it up and go over the top with a dark colour. I will provide a little hint here. It's much easier if you use the circle with the bottom flower that I've just put my finger over to line it up, and then with the top piece you get it in the right place. In I come with the dark colour and my blending brush, and you wait until I move this decorative mask. It is beautiful. Really is my favourite one. How pretty is that? I'm going to be using the Enjoy sentiment for these cards, so I'm just going to ink it up and stamp it down. Really easy and simple card. I'm going to come in with the rhinestones. These are the iridescent ones, also from the mini catalogue, and just pop a few of those around to provide some glitter, and that's my simple card done. My second card using the flowers is this one. This is again one layer with the stamp directly on the base. However, I'm going to be doing it twice. So what I'm doing here is just applying the light colour, flipping the decorative mask again and applying the light colour again. I don't see the point in going light and then dark, light and then dark when you have to keep moving the masking tape pieces. So it's best to do all your light pieces and then come over, reposition the template and go again with the dark. To me, that's just quicker. It's exactly the same as what I did in the first card, whereas I'm just going over the top and I'm using that little dot in that flower to position all of them. I don't think I can ever get bored of the effect that this creates. I'm just going over the top with the Enjoy sentiment, but now I'm going to bring in another stencil. So this is the other one I showed you at the start. And for this one, I'm going to bring in the soft succulent ink and a green blending brush, and I'm going to line up some of those leaves that's on the side, and I'm just going to create a little extra element to these flowers, which is just a pop of colour on the side. This is really easy to do. Because these stencils are translucent, you can see straight through them to make sure they're in the right place, and it's just really effective. Again, iridescent dots on there, some sparkle, and that is the base of the cardstock done. This next project, I'm stepping up again and bringing in some coordinating products such as the DSP. This DSP is in Fresh Freesia, so it's also quite complementary with our purples range, and I'm just popping it over the half of our base cardstock. The base cardstock was 14.3 by 10 centimetres, And I've actually stuck the DSP directly to it so that I could cut around it to make sure that it cut directly to the base. So many times I've cut it out and then stuck it on it and found that the measurements aren't quite right. I've stamped my sentiment out of a bigger piece of cardstock and I'm just going to stick this onto the middle of the card. But before I do, I'm coming back with one of those full decorative sheets. This is a smaller flower sheet, and once again I'm just going to apply a little bit of the gorgeous grape in certain areas of the card just to create this beautiful effect on the background. Sticking my sentiment down with the edges of the dimensionals, I find this is a really nifty trick if you're trying to stick a big section, is to use the edges because it just creates more foam and stops it from getting squished down. To finish up, I'm then going to just apply the sponge bit, which I've actually fussy cut out for this project, to the top, so it just creates an extra dimension and makes it look really pretty. Again, some of the rhinestones will finish off this card beautifully. So these are the 6 cards I've created using the Decorative Layers masks. I really hope you like them. I've thoroughly enjoyed playing with them. I'm just going to take all the front pieces now and stick them onto the card bases. So we have the very simple butterfly card. We have the stepped up version of the butterfly card that has an additional decorative mask in the background. And we then have a full stepped up version of this card, which includes DSP, vellum, punches, tags, the lot. But this butterfly here looks really nice. I think it would look good as a scrapbook layout with something like that. Quite vintagey, I reckon. Then we went on to the flower section and did a simple flower card. While I do love this stamp set, that Enjoy to me just pops off the page. I think that's a gorgeous sentiment. I love it. Then we stepped it up using another mask and in a different colour to create a background effect on the second of the flower cards. And finally, our fully stepped up version, which included fussy cutting and some additional DSP. And this sat on a landscape card. And there's all 6 of the cards. I really hope you enjoyed the video today. I really hope you enjoy the decorative masks. They're all available from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net, as well as everything I've used today. Let me know in the comments below which was your favourite, and don't forget to subscribe for further content. Bye!